Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show. The Simon Feck Show is on top of things, people. Okay? I mean, this show here still continues, even when we don't have a producer.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how good the Simon Feck Show is, people. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. And when you subscribe, you get the champ, ladies and gentlemen.
You get the champ, you get Feck, you get it all. You get whoever turns up in the chat. And I'll tell you one other thing that you get. Completely unsubstantiated rumours. Other MMA shows, they've not got the balls to put things out there that we just hear, that we just find on Twitter. We repeat it so that the people know. You think Ariel Helwani's going to do that? I don't think so.
No. People are scared. People are scared to take control of the MMA rumor mill, people.
Yeah.
The MMA rumor mill is real, people. It is alive, people. And Simon Feck and Champ and the Ash. We bring it to you, people. We're not scared of rumors, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Rumors are real.
Yeah. Rumors, you know, you can't prove them, but we'll just say that they're all completely true. I mean, the MMA rumor mill as well, what people don't understand about this, the MMA rumor mill, is that before it existed, you were developing the Nina drama talking showerhead, and then it developed a kind of sentience and it gave life to the MMA rumor mill, and it exists on a kind of parallel dimension that you can't see, but it transcends reality, and that's how we get our information. Because sometimes I won't even read things on the internet. I'll just be sitting smoking crack or something when I'm not. I don't do that at work because I work in the shoe shop. But when I'm not working in the shoe shop, I'll smoke crack and I'll hear this stuff in my head and I'll say, you know what, the people have to know, and I write it down on like the back of a receipt or something that I end up giving to a customer, and then they complain that I was like being weird or something. I don't think it's true though.
Yeah, that's right. Like for me, sometimes I don't even get the MMA rumor mill through the internet. Sometimes it comes in like telepathically into my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that strong, people.
Yeah, it's like a radio frequency that's out there, and if you spend enough time terminally online on MMA forums, you can hone in on it, and you get the news before anyone else has it. You know, I mean, Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell, they'll never be able to understand the MMA rumor mill the way that we do, and you know, it's been a heck of a week in combat sports, and we're going to tell you what's going to evolve over the next 12 to 24 years today in this episode.
Right. The MMA rumor mill, I mean, it can be abrasive. It can be like 80 grit sandpaper, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
But the MMA rumor mill is dominant over any other news source, ladies and gentlemen. And we here at Simon Feck, myself, and the champ, we dominate. We dominate in this news space, ladies and gentlemen.
I would agree with that. And I think you just made a great point that we are 80 grit sandpaper. You look at any of the, you know, Ariel Helwani, he's like 2000 grit sandpaper. He doesn't do, he takes a tiny bit off. You can't even really see it. Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell, they're probably like 1200, you know. There's still, you can't really do real work with that.
Yeah, it's too soft. Like Nina Drama's feet. Nina Drama uses 60 grit sandpaper on her feet, ladies and gentlemen, to bring it to, you know, acceptable level, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, she buffs her feet, and then, but the interesting thing about Nina Drama is that she after she uses the 60 grit on her feet, she also uses Vaseline to buff her feet so that they reflect the sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. And another person that adds to the MMA rumor mill, besides myself, Simon Feck, and the champ, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Our #1 correspondent, ladies and gentlemen, No Chill. How you doing, No Chill?
I'm doing very well, Mr. Feck. Can you hear me okay on my cell phone?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's beautiful. We got a lot to talk about. I'm very ready. I'm very prepared. I couldn't miss this show. I might crash the car, but fuck it. It's damn worth it.
All right. There's a man that knows how the importance of the MMA rumor mill is, ladies and gentlemen. He's risking his life, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, well, let's hope you don't crash into anybody.
Yeah, I've heard two major rumors recently that really have me spiraling. I'm going down these rabbit holes, and you know, they involve two pretty big names in the community. So you know, we got a lot to discuss. I'm sure you've heard it too about Kenny Okoye's mom and MMA Joey's sexuality.
Oh, well, I mean, basically, who hasn't heard it? But the way the Simon Feck Show can bring it to you is like none other news source out there, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to elaborate on that right now?
Well, I mean, we could dive into Kenny Okoye's mom. I was gonna reach out to the kid. I felt bad for the kid. I thought he was retarded because I was watching him speak, and I wanted to help out. I wanted to message him and be like, "Hey, buddy, you know, you're doing your best. You know, maybe you're not the smartest kid out there, but you're trying." And I click and I see his mom, and his mom is I don't know if she's a hooker, if she's a prostitute, but I see her Instagram and she's busting it down in her high heels. I was so shocked, and honestly, it kind of did turn me on. But I don't want to be the stepfather to Kenny Okoye. I don't want somebody like that as my stepson. But Kenny Okoye's mom, and I also think she was happy about Charlie Kirk getting shot. I think that too for other reasons. But I think she's a very sexy gal, and she really can bust a move, and that was really surprising. I didn't think he was one of those blacks with rhythm, but it's in his DNA.
I'm not familiar with this person. Who's Kenny Okoye?
He is like he's just a black MMA YouTuber. He likes Israel Adesanya, he likes John Jones, he likes crayons, grilled cheese, if you catch my drift.
Okay.
Now, his mother, is there any pictures of his mother's feet?
Yes, there are actually some. I could if you give me a minute, I could make it my profile picture. But yeah, there's pictures of his mother's feet. There's pictures of his mother bust and her mom. And I'm not gonna, you know, expose anybody, but she holds a pretty high position. So the fact that she's throwing it back like that is absolutely wild to me. I would not publicly display videos of my mom busting it back, but maybe it's a cultural difference.
Hey, I mean, busting it back, ladies and gentlemen.
It said also liked by Kenny Okoye. I was scrolling on Instagram. It said also liked by Kenny Okoye, and I see this older black woman, very beautiful, very high quality, throwing it back, and I click on it, and it's his mother, and it's only in my recommendation because he liked it. I don't know what he liking it means. If my mother posted that, I wouldn't like it, but you know, that's a cultural difference that we all need to, you know, figure out as Americans. Why do autistic black children like videos of their mom twerking on Instagram?
Well, I mean, she could just possibly be a great twerker. I mean that could be it.
Oh, it's more than possible. It's definitive. Let's go, Champ. I assume you're doing the research right now.
Deep into Wikipedia, I'm getting all the information. This is incredibly enlightening stuff right here. But the one thing I just realized, I really need to take a piss. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
You gotta
the cucumber.
be lazy.
I'm not gonna start any rumors about the rumor show, but the cucumber picture, as soon as he sees that video of Okoye's mother, I'm not saying it, but we're all thinking it.
I mean, it's a telltale sign the way I'm looking at it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Yeah.
So Champ, well, Champ's gone now. Okay, so I'm used to going straight to Champ. I don't know. So no chill. Have you heard that Joe Pyfer's Jockstrap has now entered the UFC Hall of Fame? Now, not just his Jockstrap, but also Joe Pyfer too. Yeah, he was seen wearing his cheesesteak Jockstrap when he entered the UFC Hall of Fame. Did you hear that?
Cheesesteak?
Yeah, his
cheesesteak jockstrap?
That's right. Joe Pyfer has been auctioning off his fight jockstraps, and the cheesesteak scented.
That is who is buying them at these auctions is what I want to know. Are they scented like cheesesteak, or is he wrapping his little Pyfer in a bunch of Philly delights? How does he acquire the scent of cheesesteak on one's jockstrap? What is the process for that? And congratulations on the Hall of Fame spot, Mr. Pyfer.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a trade secret how they become cheesesteak scented, but the Joe Pyfer jockstraps have been taking the market for the Philly cheesesteak down, because once people acquire a Joe Pyfer jockstrap, they don't need to go get a cheesesteak. All they do, they have the jockstrap within their possession, and they just sniff it, and then they get their fulfillment of the cheesesteak.
You get all the flavor, but none of the calories.
That might help people lose weight, and there's an American obesity epidemic in America, and Joe Pyfer's jockstrap is tackling that fucking issue. And I want to see more things like this. I want to see Yair Rodriguez taco jockstrap. I want to see Verna Jandaroba fucking like brain cancer jockstrap. I want to see this sort of stuff happen all across America. I want to see people use this as a positive, and I think he's going into the Hall of Fame because of his cheesesteak jockstrap, and I think that sets a precedent for the rest of the fighters. Start using whatever trade secrets you can to scent your jockstrap and help America get healthy again, make America healthy again. Be like Joe Pyfer.
Yeah. I think if you take like a jockstrap, right, for 6 hours and you duct tape it to your face, you could like just. You're technically fasting, but you also feel like you're not missing out as well, because you've got like, the jockstrap of someone like Joe Pyfer. It's like a fighter from Philadelphia. There's just the aroma of a cheesesteak. There's a depth. There's a texture in there as well. It's good for you. I don't understand why more people haven't been doing this up until this point.
There's a certain stank that could really get your mind going, and yeah, to your point, it helps with the fasting too. Have you ever been to Philadelphia?
I've never been to America actually.
Well, if you do, I recommend Philly as your first place. It smells like a jockstrap regardless of what you're wearing. It's really beautiful if you're into that sort of thing.
I love it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
And one place to visit is Kensington, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Champ.
Yeah.
Also, Champ, No Chill mentioned about weight loss. You might want to talk about gasoline.
Yeah, I mean, well, we had a scoop. So, No Chill, I'm not sure if you've been watching every show up until this point, or, well, the recent shows. But, well, basically, we got it off the MMA rumor mill that Kelvin Gastelum developed a method to help him cut weight during camps, and it involved dressing up in a full-body snail costume and slathering his stomach in Vaseline and then sliding around on laminate flooring. And the reason that he's missed weight this week by 5 pounds is that he didn't realize it, but he had the wrong kind of Vaseline. He bought strawberry-flavored Vaseline, and so when he tried to lose weight with it, it didn't work. And so he's now saying that he's going to sue the Vaseline company for everything they've got, because he thinks that he was in line for a middleweight title shot if he had made weight and won this fight.
Was he eating his slime?
He was probably, I think it's hard to live like that and not ingest some of the slime, for sure.
That's awful. That's a really awful story for Kelvin. I mean, that's a thing I've heard of people doing more recently. You know, you're having trouble losing weight, so you strip completely naked, right? You lather up in some grease and some lotion, and you put on a big snail shell, and you just slither around on the ground. You know, I feel like saunas are very outdated. I went to an MMA gym. You know, there was four black dudes, and they were all, you know, oiled up, big shell on. They were squirming around on the ground. I was like, "How's the weight cut going?" And and you know, they weren't talking English, but you know, I assume they said good. It was like something like that. I assume it was the weight cut's good. You know, I'm happy to be a snail right now. But in the case of Kelvin Gastelum, you know, that's a win and a loss, because I feel like his jockstrap probably does smell like strawberries now, so that's a positive. But not making weight, that's awful. That's a championship opportunity that he lost, and you know, you can't be looking. I could tell his stomach had a redness to it. He looked a little more plump than usual, and it was definitely some body absorbing that strawberry Vaseline that did it to him. I did hear that from Crazy Kev. He did tell me that before, so I was aware of that. But I did not know that the strawberry part was happening, and that's why he lost the weight. I just thought maybe it wasn't as effective as saunas, but you know, how could I argue against Crazy Kev?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing about it as well is that redness in his stomach, that's going to be there for months now. And it's a shame as well, because strawberry Vaseline is a great thing to have. And you think what someone else could have done with, you know, several kilograms of strawberry Vaseline. And unfortunately, Kelvin Gastelum's slathering himself up, thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to make weight, no problem at all. And it's a wasted opportunity for Kelvin, and it's a waste of the Vaseline too. And you wonder, what's he going to do with the rest of that Vaseline now? Because I can't think that he's thinking straight. You know, he's probably going to go home and like punch the tub of Vaseline and be like, you made me lose weight, you stupid strawberry Vaseline. So it'll be interesting to see what he does next in his career.
I mean, his Kelvin Gastelum's strawberry jockstrap, that's like pate. That's like some very high quality sort of thing now that I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking out for. I feel like that's going to be a really big thing. Joe Pyfer, it's a secret how he gets that, but your entire body covered up in strawberry Vaseline, I imagine his jockstrap is going to be selling very, very high to the likes of Nina Drama or Whoa Black Betty. They would love to purchase something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, something like that. That's basically artisan craftsmanship at that point. You know, like you can't.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You can't 3D print another.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, it's a one of a kind.
Gold coming in, ladies and gentlemen.
It's artisan.
We got pure gold coming in, ladies and gentlemen.
That sort of craft kind of enter the MMA sphere, because you got a lot of big meatheads, you know, wants their protein bars or protein shakes, but there's nothing natural about that. You know, Kelvin Gastelum's jockstrap, that's a human being. That's a human-made product. That's something that's going to help your health without putting chemicals into your body. Well, the Vaseline might have some chemicals, but other than that, it's just, you know, it's pure little, you know, Mexican sweat, and you know, that's something a lot of people do.
Western Mass Climber, ladies and gentlemen. Western Mass Climbers here, ladies and gentlemen. And gold, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Gold is here, ladies and gentlemen. Get rowdy, ladies and gentlemen. Get rowdy, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Get rowdy, ladies and gentlemen. And other genders, ladies and gentlemen. All genders, ladies and gentlemen, and other genders, ladies and gentlemen. Ha 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 ha!
How much Vaseline he should use next time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Trying to regain the use of his leg.
Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Tern here, ladies and gentlemen.
I definitely agree with that, but I saw Instagram post was like, hey, this
Yeah!
guy's doing what he needs to do, cutting away, you know, he's eating his Vaseline slime as he's slithering around. When when Stoltzfus was shooting, he was going to the body from the sprawl position. Gastelum was getting up, and Stoltzfus was going to the body with uppercuts, and Gastelum was getting hit, but it didn't affect him. Why? When you slide,
There's a lot of genders, ladies and gentlemen.
Scrapes and cuts.
There's lots of genders, ladies and gentlemen.
So I think that did help.
Well, at least Gold's telling us, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Gold in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! We got Gold in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah!
It's a little different when you're
Yeah!
in the cage. You're gonna punch the stomach. You're like, holy shit! I just slid around, you know, no clothes on beside my shell, on pavement, on road. This punch to the stomach doesn't feel like anything. I was in Kensington, Pennsylvania. I have 10 needles, you know, in my ball sack. So a punch to the stomach. What the fuck? What is this shit? You know?
Gold says, yeah!
So in addition, sorry, Simon, I was just going to say, in addition to the cuts and the bruising that formed like a protective layer, the Vaseline itself permeates the skin.
Gold says, yeah!
Protective barrier so that not even microbial bacteria can interfere with his stomach now. So a punch is never going to get through.
Yeah. And that's
It's just me and you, Gold.
UFC that we see today. No more beat.
Western Mass Climber must have left, ladies and gentlemen.
If they knew the trade secrets, it would just be a different world.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering if they're going to start PED testing. I'm talking about performance-enhancing Vaseline. That could come in, and that will change the game if that happens.
We'd see a lot of careers derailed. You know, there's a lot of guys I know. I'm not going to say names, but there's Kamaru Usman. There's Sage Northcutt. He did that a lot. And Jacques Della Maddalena, the champion. You know, I've heard he's experimented with it, but it's usually lower level.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gold's coming in with Laura Sanko's hot, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
Why is Laura Sanko's head sideways, ladies and gentlemen?
Vaseline to another extreme. It's not only his skin, it's every orifice too with that guy. And he doesn't even wear
ladies and gentlemen,
either. He just
listen.
puts on the back. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's helping him weight cut.
Laura Sanko's hot, ladies and gentlemen, says Gold. And you can take that to the bank, ladies and gentlemen, because it's gold, ladies and gentlemen. Gold, says Laura Sanko's hot, ladies and gentlemen. Have you seen that video with Laura Sanko jogging? She's hot. Listen up. Laura Sanko's hot, ladies and gentlemen.
Discuss what's really going on, because I don't think anyone else has talked about the Vaseline issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody knows what a time capsule is, right? So
Who's Howard Tern?
in like a box or something, and then
Western Mass Climber.
open it up.
We just call him Western.
Back in the day.
Who is Howard Tern?
Trump wants to build a time capsule for UFC White House to sell
I guess it's not explainable, Western.
America's 250 years.
It's good to see you back, though, Western.
At UFC's birthday 300. What do you think Dana White should offer up in the time capsule, No Chill? Any answers?
I would probably say maybe the bullet of whoever gets executed at that event. Maybe they could take it from the carotid artery and put that.
Laura Sanko's hot, ladies and gentlemen. Gold says Laura Sanko's hot.
Wow.
She's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen.
I would say Joe Pyfer's Jockstrap.
She also likes to smash her head up against the light, ladies and gentlemen.
The time between when it's buried and
Laura
when it's
Sanko.
buried, it's going to ferment further. that's going to be a hell of a thing to have in 200-300 years.
Yeah.
Now, right here, Western.
Oh my gosh! Do you think
Western thinks that Simon Feck.
More pungent?
Definitely. Yeah.
That Simon Feck has a brain. He's gonna fix it. It's Howard Tern. It's Howard Tern.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, Gold definitely knows the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you know how like fights get inducted into.
I might win DWCS just to get an interview, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, the Randy Couture versus Chuck Liddell fight. Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, Gold's gonna win Dana White's Contender Series, ladies and gentlemen, just to get an interview, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah!
Put that in there.
Yeah!
I mean, like alive. You know, just put him in there and let him fight it out.
I mean, I still don't think that there was a lot of controversy.
Feck just broke Holloway's significant strike record on that lamp. Ladies and gentlemen, Western comes in. That's Feck. Feck just broke Holloway's strike record, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
In that last fight, obviously they didn't have
the most strikes per live stream, ladies and gentlemen, says Western. That me, Feck, or Howard Tern, ladies and gentlemen. That's funny.
But we haven't got to that point yet.
Why not? Yeah. I mean, the triple threat, fight sounds. It sounds like that's what the UFC needs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And they need to stop promoting Nina Drama too, because I've heard some rumors about her that weren't too kosher.
Oh.
That was a good one, Western. I'm gonna be making a video out of that one.
I'm not gonna say. I don't want to give away too
and Gold
much.
gave plenty of gold too.
She was involved in Charlie Kirk's slaughter.
Is that right? Interesting.
She was in Utah. I'm not gonna say what I heard, but I definitely did hear that she.
Mark Goddard has a steroid rage.
She wasn't born.
Problem, ladies and gentlemen. Gold says Mark Goddard has a steroid rage, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it here from Gold, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Goddard has a steroid rage problem, ladies and gentlemen. And you heard it from none other than Gold, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Now there's another video right there. Perfect.
I'm not gonna say it, but she was actually trying to.
Western wants to know if that's no chill, ladies and gentlemen.
She had a board that she wanted Sean.
It's either no chill. It's either no chill or it's John Morgan. Now, is it John Morgan being a naughty boy or is it no chill, Western?
Sean Strickland got distracted and him and his buddy, accidentally the bullet went astray and it shot Charlie Kirk in front of his children. The blood got on their lunch boxes. It was awful, and it's all because of Nino Drama. It was very dark.
What girl in the UFC, right, fighter or correspondent, who do you think would look hottest in a used jockstrap?
Nina Drama?
Jessica Andrade, Mackenzie Dern, all these sexy Brazilian girls.
And don't forget Laura Sanko, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah!
The jockstrap's going to look really nice with their physiques, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, sounds like John Morgan. My bad.
Broad shoulders, muscular.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good jawline, good.
Ladies and gentlemen. Western thinks this is John Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. It could be no chill, ladies and gentlemen. It could be John Morgan. If no chill. If you call in as John Morgan.
Yeah. Yes, but 5, but not tall. Just strong.
Gold just said 10 push-ups, John Morgan.
I like this
Yeah.
conversation a lot better than Sean Strickland's, his speed, and they always do those videos of
Yeah. That was UFC 310.
But I like the
Yeah, UFC 310.
I like the clan fights, ladies and gentlemen, and the clans that are involved in the UFC.
Western. Who's John Morgan talking to?
Yeah, I mean,
John Morgan is talking to Champ. Let's go Champ 2023.
How much money that they're going to be making from porn websites.
Now, Simon Feck was there. But John Morgan and Champ didn't let Simon Feck talk very much.
Yeah, there is. I think they might use
Yeah, Colby Covington. I knew who it was, but I couldn't think of it.
apparatus and things like that for the UFC. But yeah, I don't think the fighters are going to benefit from it at all.
Right.
No.
Gold says Covington bullying Morgan for push-ups is gold.
Some really big clams.
Says gold, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Really,
That's right.
You look at that clam, you say, whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 push-ups, John Morgan, right now. Make it snappy, says gold, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, Colby Covington said that, ladies and gentlemen. Where you been, John Morgan? Call back into the Simon Feck show. You hear me?
It's like there's more and more.
John Morgan.
It's sticking out. It's a little ugly, but that's Dana White's way. So who am I going to argue against the boss?
Listen, I mean, the thing is, all clams are beautiful in their own way, It's and I say that as well because there's something else that's been bothering me.
You gotta love a good clam, ladies and gentlemen.
The word gay a lot, I know that when Howard Tern called into a show recently,
He just said Howard Tern, Western.
and people have called this show gay, and this show is not just gay; it's the gayest.
I want to know
on the internet.
White's Juice Cycle, ladies and gentlemen.
Talking about clams. I appreciate it purely from
Says gold, ladies and gentlemen.
what's the word? Platonic perspective.
Food's disgusting.
Watch Clown Show.
Hey man, listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Watch Clown Show's here, ladies and gentlemen.
But I can admire them from afar.
All right.
Yes, I like the way that they look. I just don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, Watch Clown Show's here, ladies and
Don't
gentlemen.
like the texture of it in my mouth.
That's right.
It's a sliminess.
Yeah, so
The clown from Arkansas, ladies and gentlemen.
being, a black crow and everything.
Who lives on property, ladies and gentlemen.
It's in our DNA to eat clams.
And he goes into town, ladies and gentlemen.
Like that.
wow.
He invented MMA drama, ladies and gentlemen. And then Nita Drama came along, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got Watch Clown Show in here, ladies and gentlemen.
From the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Clam Hassle? Where is Clam Hassle? There's no chill, ladies and gentlemen. Ha ha.
Not only John Jones, but DC.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, no chill in here, ladies and gentlemen.
Dana White,
Yeah.
please let him come back and fight.
Even Clown Show fans love Simon Feck. The truth is undeniable. Says no chill. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys
Yeah.
think about that?
Everybody watches the Clown Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Making moves
To
towards
watch
those,
Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen.
And he's going to need at least 2 years to recuperate from that operation. So I don't know what he's thinking.
Clown goes in the closet to beat off.
Earplugs.
Well, anybody from Arkansas does that. If you're from Arkansas, the shit stain of the United States, it's like that shit stain in your underwear, ladies and gentlemen. That shit stain in your underwear. If you look at the map of the United States, Arkansas is that shit stain, ladies and gentlemen. Ha ha.
Yeah.
To put it nicely. I don't know if DC is gonna be winning in his fight at the White House. I really don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, says gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Makes me question it. I've seen videos of him recently. He's looking dead. He's cracked out. He's doing methamphetamines.
Western says, sup?
I don't want to say specifics about what he's doing.
We got friends in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Western says, sup, Chill?
Because he kind of looks in the mirror and he hates himself and he can't see his penis anymore. So he wants to, go fight again, get his hair plugs, and kind of reinvent himself. And he also,
ladies and gentlemen, we got Dagger in here, ladies and gentlemen.
So, he's definitely.
I don't know what this is, but it reminds me of Max Headroom incident video.
Good for his mental health.
You got that right, Dagger. Max Headroom.
The MMA rumor mill, it runs deep and it cuts hard, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA rumor mill, it runs deep and it cuts hard, ladies and gentlemen. And people are saying now, like in some of the comments, they're saying that Dana White, after DC fights in UFC White House, that Dana White should offer up DC for the title.
Simon Feck scared me at first, but then I realized it's just a chill guy. And we got no chill. We got no chill in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. And Simon Feck's just a chill guy, ladies and gentlemen. Says gold. And that's gold, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah!
I feel like it's time to let him fossil That man, he needs a little.
It's going to take him a long.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like
DC a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got 8 high in here, ladies and gentlemen. We got 8 high in here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe and everything and all that bullshit. We got the Clown Show in here. We got No Chill in here. We got Western in here. We got Gold in here. We got Dagger in here, ladies and gentlemen. We got John Morgan in here. We got the Champ in here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Simon Feck. We got Howard Tern, ladies and gentlemen. We got Kanato in here, ladies and gentlemen. Kanato, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
300 years passed by. Obviously.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck, the man, says Kanato, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah!
Maybe he lives a year without.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got everybody in here. We got 7, 8 people in here. We got everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
He's full of collagens. He's full of like jelly. He's very gelatinous. You could make UFC gummy bears for the next 500 years out of DC's fat after it's preserved underground. This is a business opportunity for the UFC. This is a lot of food that could be.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a good PR move. You don't want one of your legends, sucking off.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who it was, but it was Giuliano Argenti that he did suck off, and
Giuliano Argenti, ladies and gentlemen.
DC did do that, and that's not a good look for a legend. So I feel like putting him in a timeout. You uncover him, and now everybody eats a little bit of DC in their day. Everybody gets to eat part of a legend. Have DC inside of them. Everybody wants DC inside of them. Everybody really does want DC inside of them.
Yeah.
And it's
man, John Morgan's something else, isn't he, ladies and gentlemen?
I mean, yes, it's a little unrealistic. Or burying him in the time capsule and turning him into gelatin after hundreds of years of fossilization could also be another route that the UFC goes down. And either way, I think it's a good business move.
Yeah, I mean, as well, they could use some of that gelatin.
That's right, Western.
Infuse it with CBD.
Giuliano Argenti, ladies and gentlemen. Western says.
So it's like you can own a part.
Oh, we got another one. It moved on me. Ladies and gentlemen, Western says Giuliano Argenti, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
300 years. So you're gonna
Giuliano Argenti. Whatever. I can't say it, ladies and gentlemen.
And get really fucking high just by
Gold, says Argenti, ladies and gentlemen.
It's hard to argue, I guess. I'll say, you make a good point.
Simon Feck is the revolution, says K Nato, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen,
So what you're saying
could be the smartest man on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. K Nato, ladies and gentlemen. K Nato says Simon Feck is the revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah!
so that he can use shampoo.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
The shampoo situation,
There's a wrestling term right there, Kenato. Yeah, no holds barred MMA talk, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Kenato. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Tern MMA here, ladies and gentlemen. No holds barred, ladies and gentlemen. MMA talk, ladies and gentlemen. That was crap. Let's do it again. Kenato says, ladies and gentlemen. Kenato, no holds barred MMA talk from Howard Tern MMA, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
I think it's a good PR thing for the UFC. To leave DC in there for a while, because he's been acting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Morgan. Well, it could be No Chill, ladies and gentlemen. No Chill just mentioned Giuliano Argenti. Argenti, ladies and gentlemen, says Kenato, ladies and gentlemen.
I just feel like it's a little bit controversial because they're also promoting, it's anti-male beauty. You're saying, hey, you're not good. You're telling your audience you're not good enough.
How long did it take to make the Guru mask?
Hair transplants in Turkey.
Yeah, so
only DC can.
So Simon Feck,
you're making it more of a rich boys
the
club.
guy Simon Feck,
Beauty standard if you give
he bought it.
Hair plugs. So
he bought it to make it into a Guru mask.
I see the shampoo as a controversial option as well.
But he didn't get to it for like a month or two.
I don't know if he wants to be.
And then it was a couple days, couple hours total. We had to go buy spray paint.
Is that right?
I wish Simon Feck would have made the mustache go all the way down to the beard. But hey, check this out, Gold. So there's going to be new mouthpieces on it. The next time you see, well, it's right here. The next time you see it, there's going to be mouthpieces down here, and I tear them off and I put new ones on, like laughing and frowning and the wow and everything. It's going to be pretty cool.
They go out there and they scrape videos and steal everybody else's content. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, MMA Zone is currently scraping and getting the news right here from the MMA rumor mill, ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show with Champ and No Chill, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, go ahead, MMA Zone, go ahead and scrape anything you want from this show right here.
It's definitely very creative. Has Guru ever mentioned it?
You hear me?
No. The MMA Guru, people keep going in there and asking him about Simon Feck, and he keeps acting like he doesn't know. How many times does somebody have to talk to the MMA Guru about Simon Feck? He knows. He just doesn't want to know about it, ladies and gentlemen. But me and the MMA Guru, well, excuse me, Simon Feck and the MMA Guru have been talking back and forth. He knows exactly who Simon Feck is. Don't let him fool you. He's done 4 videos on Simon Feck this year. Hidden secret messages in some of his videos, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean big messages. It ain't just like one word or one sentence.
They all watched the Simon Feck show.
He's done 4 videos on Simon Feck this year.
But everybody's,
Trust me on that. I'm going to do reaction videos on it. Well, Simon Feck is going to do reaction videos on it, ladies and gentlemen.
For a reason, motherfucker, because it's the breaking news. It's the fucking truth. And when I see people,
I heard a rumor that Guru and who? Yui went to high school together.
And I use the term people very loosely. Just outright stealing news and stealing takes without
I have no idea about that.
Giving any credit. It really just turns my stomach. It's awful. It's disgusting, and I think they should be punishable.
Yeah, I know what school he went to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it makes me think that we shouldn't even.
Oh, and you.
If other people are going to be using our
Gold says that Simon Feck and the MMA Guru went to the same high school together, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Simon Feck and the MMA Guru went to the same high school together, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it from Gold, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Gold, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be a good one, Gold. I'll be using that one for a short. Well, I got a bunch of them.
Every little one. What has he done? What has he done? We've done a lot. I mean, we went to Baghdad in Afghanistan. We went to Iraq. We went to all of these hostile.
Got another 40 minutes of this stupid video, ladies and gentlemen.
Sit in their studios.
You heard it here first, ladies and gents. Gold says you heard it here first, ladies and gents. Yeah.
Show summary. They probably don't even watch the full thing. They don't even get all the context. They just want to, without trying to sound indecent, they want to.
That lamp has a hell of a chin.
It's blatant.
Ladies and gentlemen, Western says this lamp right here has a hell of a chin, ladies and gentlemen. It has a better chin.
And they deserve it. If they're going to steal news.
Who doesn't have a good chin?
It has to happen. And I do understand protesting, but it is a thing that...
Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt.
Don't break it. Where are they going to get it from?
Ladies and gentlemen, Western says that this lamp... What did you say? Ladies and gentlemen, Western says that this lamp has a hell of a chin, ladies and gentlemen. This lamp has a better chin, ladies and gentlemen, than Cody Garbrandt, ladies and gentlemen. That came in from Western, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! There's another good one. We got some good ones tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Gold says it only took California 1 month to arrest Ray J. Raja. There it is.
The grifters, the Luke Thomas, the Brian Campbell, they're saying, oh, this is free information.
It only took California a month to arrest Raja Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, California is on the case, ladies and gentlemen. It only takes a month to arrest the guy that was on the scene and walked away from the scene, ladies and gentlemen.
It's really very, I don't want to sound...
California's on the ball, ladies and gentlemen.
Like one of them
says Gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Comes from the Nina drama showerhead. It's too hot. It's very scalding.
Kane Otto says, Simon, do you watch...
That's where my main issue with all of this shit.
Simon, do you watch lab-grown baby Lesnar fight today?
And also, it smells too much like a
That's a funny one. Ken Otto says, Simon, did you watch lab-grown baby Lesnar fight today? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But, he no, I didn't. Did you? Did you?
And not to just circle back around, but I want to tell you that the guy at the
what you got here?
Zone,
His name is Frederick Vassaro, German dig doctor.
They went to the Simon Feck journalism.
You know, Simon Feck, not me, because I'm Howard Tern, but Simon Feck has a bird brain, ladies and gentlemen. His name is Frederick Vossgrown.
Was taught how to say ladies and gentlemen correctly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done with the MMA zone, okay? You guys, I know you're going to...
His name is Frederick Vossgrown, ladies and gentlemen. It's a German dig doctor, ladies and gentlemen. It says Kate out there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to do with that one, man. German fighter. Oh, that's who he fought? I don't know. Raja. Raja's not going to serve a day in prison. I live in California. This is all for a show. Yeah.
Well, this is why...
I believe it.
We've got to a state in society where journalists can say whatever they want. There's freedom of the press. And I've disagreed with this for years. If you...
Kanata, y'all, I know it's so dumb. Cali is a joke, says Gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Giving it the go-ahead first. You know?
Yeah, Yeah. MMA musical. He makes things. He doesn't credit Simon Feck. Ariel, yeah. No, I go look on MMA Musical's channel. I can't find a single credit to Simon Feck, and I'm not saying that dude should be executed, but you gotta have some integrity as a journalist.
There's a German fighter, and people compare him to Lesnar. He's roided to the tits.
You know.
Says Kane Otto, ladies and gentlemen, about Lesnar, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Musical MMA. There's not one credit for Simon Feck.
Gavin Newsom, ladies and gentlemen, for the people, ladies and gentlemen. Says gold, ladies and gentlemen, and that's gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, we're 5 high, no chill right now. We are 5 high viewers right now. And I guarantee
Ken Otto,
one of them.
Frederick looks like a damn caveman.
Sit back and look.
Kane Otto says that Frederick looks like a damn caveman, ladies and gentlemen.
We need answers. Why you haven't credited Simon Feck?
Look him up, says Kanato. Callie is a dump, says Kanato.
People who have been using our hard work, you know, because we said a few weeks ago, we said we're not going to start putting out good content until we hit 100,000 subscribers. So this isn't even our best content because we're close to 100,000, but we're not quite there yet. I think we're still about 99,700 people away.
That's right. The Simon Feck Show. The Simon Feck Show is only going to put out good content when it reaches 100,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen. We're only 99,700 subs away, ladies and gentlemen. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, says gold, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. From Howard Tern. From Howard Tern. The man on the left side, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
Simon Feck and make a livelihood off of it. You know, and make a livelihood off of it. I want death squads. I want this dude. Well, I'm not gonna say who, but I want MMA musical. I want his stomach.
Ken Otto says CK, love CK. Ladies and gentlemen, love Charlie Kirk, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here from Howard Tern, ladies and gentlemen. The man on the left. Loving the man on the right, ladies and gentlemen.
Plague masks in the street. Firing bullets into the air.
Is that up there?
Blowing up vehicles. For no apparent
Gold says, true patriots, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck leftists, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're not afraid to say what side we're on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
We're on the good side, ladies and gentlemen.
I think this needs to be a hostile takeover.
Good statement, Gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and then all the false reporting out there. Last night, somebody sent me a clip of Giuliano Argenti saying that Giuliano, whatever his name is, Argenti and Bedtime MMA were the only ones to predict a full card this year, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
12 for 12, whatever you want to say.
They're going around saying they predicted all 12 fights. I knew there was going to be 12 fights.
So, Bedtime MMA and Argenti are not the only ones to sweep a card this year. Argenti, stop lying, Argenti.
Well, that's the thing. On Discord, that's fair. I was just going to say that on Discord, you and me.
So what's everybody got going on out there, ladies and gentlemen?
Every fight.
The Howard Stern hairs about ready to come off, ladies and gentlemen. Started having a receding hairline, ladies and gentlemen.
3.5 years, I think.
Howard Tern doesn't have a receding hairline, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty sure it's that.
I have news that'll absolutely shock you. I'm looking at my Google spreadsheets right now. Isha Jerome of the City Life Project, he predicted 12 fights. Jake Linden, homeless YouTuber, Northwest 425, he said there were going to be 12 fights as well.
Oh, yeah.
Theo Dawkins, he just got knocked out by Yoel Romero. He said there were going to be 12 fights as well. So Giuliano Argenti and what was his name? The other one? Bedtime MMA. You're fucking lying to your audience. You're deceiving your audience on purpose, and I find it fucking disgusting. I find it fucking disgusting because what this is big pharma. This is Big Brother trying to hold his thumb down.
You tell him, John Morgan.
Fighting and doing the real work.
You tell him, John Morgan.
He has 100,000
Ladies and gentlemen, Gold says Argenti is the #1 predictor in betting history, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Gold. And that's gold. You can put that in the bank, ladies and gentlemen. Argenti is the best. He's the #1 predictor in betting history, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And you heard it here from Gold. And that's gold, ladies and gentlemen. Take that to the bank. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
And they all have 100,000
ladies and gentlemen.
And then look at us. The people that really do, the people that get their pickaxes, and they are the ones mining for the diamonds. They mine for the diamonds just for Big Brother to take what we yield. And I think it's time we start finding these MMA YouTubers in real life, publicly posting their address, and murdering them. Cold blood. On their streams. Murder them. That's what I think needs to be done.
We'll give them one more chance.
Take that to the bank, Gold says. That's right.
It really is interesting times in the MMA.
Argenti is the best betting source you can have, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look at his speech pattern. That is a man of knowledge and wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. Argenti is articulate, ladies and gentlemen. He's the best predictor on the planet for betting MMA, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he predicted there was going to be 12 fights on the last card, ladies and gentlemen. He predicted all 12 fights, ladies and gentlemen. Him and Bedtime MMA.
So I wanted to stop eating pork. You know, I had a lot of questions about life that I thought were going to be answered. But you keep feeling the pressure.
Gold says I used his betting advice and had to sell my car, ladies and gentlemen. You hear that, Argenti? Argenti, you're making people go broke with your betting advice. Argenti, your betting advice sucks balls, Argenti. Argenti, you need to get out of the prediction business.
Yeah, no chill is exactly right.
Gold had to sell his gold and his car and his house. He bet the whole farm, ladies and gentlemen, on Argenti's advice. Ladies and gentlemen, Giuliano Argenti, or whatever his stupid name is, do not follow his betting advice. That's you heard it from me, Howard Tern, ladies and gentlemen. Because I had a bad experience with it. Because my friend Gold lost his car, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. We got some good ones tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
They had the ability to sift through time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gold just said, ladies and gentlemen, had to sell my car, which was my home, ladies and gentlemen. You hear that, Argenti? I'm on the streets, ladies and gentlemen. Now, how do you feel, Argenti? How do you feel? Gold is out on the streets because of your betting advice.
Yeah.
And Argenti's at his fake girlfriend's house, smoking cigarettes.
And they did predict.
And Argenti, you own McLaurin and you walk to 7-Eleven. I know a lot of people that own McLaurins and they always walk to 7-Eleven. Your betting advice put Gold out on the street and lost his home. He lost his car and it was doubled as his home.
When they're stealing the great work of Simon Feck. And these people, they're longtime fans, as you said, you know, they do travel through time. They do all sorts of things.
Gold says, I'm charging my phone at Circle K, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on the street.
On a card.
You hear that, Argenti?
So it's definitely
your betting advice
that
Your betting advice is pretty. People are losing their homes. Well, it was their car too, and then they don't even have electricity. They have to go to Circle K.
That's not what happened.
Because Gold doesn't have a McLaurin, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not going to say what
7-Eleven only allows people with McLaurins that walk to 7-Eleven to go in. If you don't own a McLaurin like Argenti, you have to go to Circle K to charge your phone when you're homeless, ladies and gentlemen. From Argenti's betting advice, ladies and gentlemen. Argenti, listen to me. Argenti is the best betting advice if you want to lose money, ladies and gentlemen. If that's not your agenda, then go somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen.
He's alive. He's sitting on spasm blood from his neck.
Kanano says our junkie just gained 12,000 subscribers just now. Somehow. And with only his usual 9 viewers. I know, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Our junkie charges his phone at Circle K. Kanano says Giuliano Argenti charges his phone at Circle K, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if he's.
I think that's a pun for Circle K, ladies and gentlemen.
Too long, so that could be it.
Gold says I have to stop charging the clerk. It's telling me to leave. Thanks, Argenti, ladies and gentlemen. Argenti, you're putting people out on the street, ladies and gentlemen, taking their homes from them, which is their car. And then they got to charge their phone at Circle K. And they're there at Circle K so often because they're watching all your live streams that their battery's running low. And they're there so much at Circle K that they get kicked out. And they can't even watch your stream anymore.
Dan Merculata is now known as the death ref, ladies and gentlemen.
At Circle Jerk.
And that's a horrible thing. And it was one.
Kanano says at Circle Jerk. You hear that? Hey, Argenti, Andy, whatever his name is, Giuliano Argenti or whatever. Mr. Falco. Their family changed the name to Fulco because the son of Sam, David Berkowitz. His family name is Falco too, ladies and gentlemen. So, Giuliano Argenti's family changed the name from Falco to Fulco to try not to be, associated with the son of Sam, ladies and gentlemen. Facts. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Somebody that needs to be held accountable for what he's done.
Circle jerk.
I'm just worried about these two beautiful.
Gold says, I have no fucking car or home, and he's in a fucking McLaurin. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
All of their meals out of a straw.
The guy Argenti owns a McLaurin, ladies and gentlemen, and again, he walks to 7-Eleven. Argenti has a McLaurin, ladies and gentlemen, and he has a ceiling fan that's missing 2 blades. It's got 2 blades, ladies and gentlemen, and he wears a $22 jacket, ladies and gentlemen, like a 1970s sweatsuit jacket like that. And when he travels, he stays in Hampton Inns, ladies and gentlemen, but he has a McLaurin, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, everything adds up, ladies and gentlemen, just like how many subscribers he has versus viewers, ladies and gentlemen. Everything in Argenti's life just totally adds up, ladies and gentlemen.
Came from a different generation,
you could go all day long with Argenti.
True. He did come from a generation.
And we basically really even haven't really even got into the lies yet. I mean, some of them we have.
We all saw the blowjobs that Clarissa Shields would give people. I mean, there were some legendary moments in her career, but Clarissa Shields has a very big jaw. She has a very big mouth.
The smell of the jacket smells like oil and paint, ladies and gentlemen.
Very small clam.
Says Gold, ladies and gentlemen. Argenti's jacket smells like oil and paint, ladies and gentlemen.
If you threw a pumpkin at her, she could catch it between her legs and she could.
It also smells like dandruff and cigarette ash, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll tell you what it doesn't smell like. Argenti's jacket doesn't smell like a woman, I'll tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, because he hasn't brushed up against a woman since he left his mom's house, ladies and gentlemen.
In the modern day, especially when you start to see more
That fake girlfriend of his in New York City, ladies and gentlemen.
that they also get the same treatment.
How come she's never in the video with him? I mean, he never snuggles with her all night long? Not once. She never comes over and gives him a little kiss on the cheek. What a fake girlfriend. Argenti's the leader in fake girlfriends, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Oh my God. Argenti has a fake girlfriend and a fake McLaurin, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing he doesn't have is fake legs because he walks to 7-Eleven. And his girlfriend doesn't walk with him.
We need the Simon Feck show needs to send a message to you.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen to me right now. Listen to me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 20 more minutes of this stupid video, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen to me, Clarissa. Listen to me. Clarissa Shields. Never eat pizza with Dan Merculano. You listening, Clarissa? Never eat pizza with Dan Merculano, the death referee, ladies and gentlemen.
Never eat pizza with Dan Merculano, ladies and gentlemen. Gold says, I don't want to date. I want to date. Excuse me. Gold says, I want to date Laura. Ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Man, Gold's going to win the Dana White Contender Series, and he's going to date Laura Sanko, ladies and gentlemen. And it's definitely going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. You know that. Laura Sanko is looking for a man that has plenty of gold, ladies and gentlemen. And you would think if a man that has gold would be none other than gold, ladies and gentlemen. And that's gold. You can stick that in your pipe and smoke it, ladies and gentlemen.
I agree, and that is
Let's ask Laura Sanko, ladies and gentlemen. Laura Sanko, are you gonna date? Are you gonna date gold one day? Listen, Laura Sanko.
I'm more against.
Are you gonna date? Uh-oh.
I will say this.
I thought that might be the bird yelling at me, ladies and gentlemen. Just got an indication on the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Laura Sanko, you're gonna. Laura Sanko, are you gonna date gold, ladies and gentlemen?
Right? Do you think?
Laura Sanko's hot, ladies and gentlemen.
Save Charlie Kirk's life.
You gotta check out that video of Laura Sanko jogging down the road, ladies and gentlemen. She's loose, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's too soon to say, but I do think that.
Well, good luck with that goal, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Tern here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a scoop, ladies and gentlemen. Howard Tern. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Tern here, ladies and gentlemen. And Simon Feck is now dating Laura Sanko, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your news source. I'm Howard Tern, and Laura Sanko is now dating Simon Feck, the crazy YouTuber, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We heard it from the MMA rumor mill, ladies and gentlemen. We heard it from the MMA rumor mill, ladies and gentlemen. Down goes, ladies and gentlemen. Down goes a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. Down goes my hair, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't want to take bath. Mr. No Chill. I don't want to take bath salts before the fight. What are you, fucking retarded? You're gonna end up like Charlie Kirk, buddy. You take those bath salts and you make weight, or you're gonna be another disgrace to the sport. And I don't want to see any more disgraces to the sport.
Legend has it that our junkie's apartment smells like latex and regret. Kate Hotto says, legend has it that our junkie's apartment smells like latex and regret, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's no doubt, ladies and gentlemen. It's no doubt. Argenti has a great imagination. Argenti imagines that he has a McLaurin, ladies and gentlemen. And he also imagines that girl that feels sorry for him is his girlfriend. Argenti goes around telling people that girl is his girlfriend. Argenti, listen to me. Howard Tern here. Argenti, have your girlfriend come on the video and say that she's your girlfriend, because you're a fecking liar, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck would tell you that.
Okay, it doesn't look great, but does it look that bad? That's my question.
Well,
that's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Gold says she's hot, ladies and gentlemen. Laura Sanko's hot, ladies and gentlemen.
In that fight where she lost, she thought she was going to get bath salts, and they put about 1 entire pound of sand in the funnel.
Gold says, congrats, Howard.
Sand in the funnel. And you know, she's waiting, and instead her teeth just keep crunching on sand. Her stomach's full. She's not feeling good, and next thing you know, no more title, never wins an MMA fight again. So I think we really need some professionals to administer the bath salts. I want people, you know, such as yourself, to give the bath salts to the fighters. People such as Derek Moneyberg and maybe Crazy Horse. You know, people that can be trusted with bath salts. I think they should be the ones administrating it. Your own corner doing it, you know, you see fishy shit happen all the time. You see sand gets poured down the bath salts. Or maybe you confuse.
I get jealous of DC hitting on my girlfriend, says Gold. Yeah, I know. Simon Feck tells me that all the time. DC walks around the Apex like he owns the place, ladies and gentlemen. You know? I mean, Chael Sonnen, he doesn't have an office in there, so he can't do that, but he would do the same thing. But tell me, listen to me, people. Simon Feck tells me a lot about DC. DC thinks his shit don't stink, ladies and gentlemen. Going around, you know, hitting on Gold's girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen.
You can try it yourself.
DC, get your own girlfriend. I mean, your wife doesn't want nothing to do with you, but DC, why don't you get your own girlfriend? Stop stealing my friends' girlfriends, DC.
He would still be with us today, and it's just an American disgrace to see this not outlawed necessarily, but just not take common practice outside of Eastern Europe.
Okay, here it goes. All right, Gold, here it goes. I keep telling this story, right? I don't. I'm Howard Tern, but Simon Feck.
It's really a disgrace for America.
You work at the UFC Apex, correct?
Yeah.
Simon Feck doesn't work for the UFC.
Okay, so Simon Feck knows some people, okay? And BKFC fighter, a true Philadelphian, okay? BKFC fighter, Travis Thompson, once told Simon Feck that the people love the movie Rocky, and they love the character Rocky because Rocky is the epitome of a Philadelphian, ladies and gentlemen. And Simon Feck, I want to know, is Joe Pyfer the epitome of Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think, though, Joe?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so,
absolutely.
All right, so Simon Feck does not work for the UFC. The UFC subcontracts, picks up Simon Feck. Simon Feck subcontracts to the UFC. Simon Feck's in the Apex all the time, ladies and gentlemen.
There's not a lot of fighters here that
True story.
The funk.
Well, let's stop with the true stories. Now, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like if the UFC doesn't find somebody soon, they're going to miss out on a giant opportunity to make that Rocky story kind of, you know, finally be based off of something that happened.
Simon Feck is the fecking GOAT, says Gold, ladies and gentlemen. I've never heard more gold in my life, ladies and gentlemen. Gold just said that Simon Feck is fecking the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen.
Like a very
Now that was paraphrasing. Let me get it correctly here, ladies and gentlemen.
Philadelphia, they love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gold said Simon Feck is the fecking GOAT, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And don't you forget it. And stick that in your pipe and smoke it, MMA Joey.
Philadelphia. See him kind of take a championship in maybe Kensington, in a place like that where we need some.
We got about 15 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
There's underprivileged people.
Gold.
That could use a
like you contract with them, I assume.
Being homeless.
Correct.
That's a lot of Philadelphians too. So
that's right, Gold.
People connect with you.
You just struck gold. That's right.
That would be my next question is, you touched on something really
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
UFC on the White House lawn. I don't think the White House needs a UFC to promote itself. But what if they had UFC on someone's front lawn in Kensington? Would that not be great for the country as well?
That would be fantastic, champ. I feel like it would really bring the unity that America kind of needs.
Gold says, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's right. I've told that story enough on here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure I'll tell it 80, 90 more times, ladies and gentlemen.
On somebody's front lawn.
Pretty soon, Simon Feck.
So that might be an issue.
Pretty soon, Simon Feck's gonna put.
If we could find one, maybe in like a Popeyes.
Gonna put like
or you know, by the trash bin.
You know, like if a batter gets up to the plate, and I'm not talking about pointing it for a home run, but like a batter gets up there and he strokes his hair 3 times, and that means he's saying hello to the people at home. You know they do that, right?
It's beautiful scene.
Okay.
If you're in the area, if you don't know
coming up real soon, Simon Feck.
People are really friendly.
And Simon Feck will let you know.
There's a lot of people.
He's gonna do a secret code.
So be careful about that. Be careful whose steroids you take. Some of those steroids.
At a major UFC card, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming up.
Hey you guy, give me your fucking money. And you know, they always joke around with me like that.
We got John Morgan talking about Kensington, ladies and gentlemen.
There's steroid needles all over the place. They need to clean up a little bit. Maybe they need like a Goldman's gym or something like that. But other than that, Kensington's a beautiful place. I would bring your daughters, bring your wives. Elliot Taporia, you know, he's gonna be fighting there soon. I really can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen on YouTube a lot of, you see like first-person tourist videos and like walking tours of Kensington. And there's a
Gold says, are you going to show yourself on TV at a card?
An event, a UFC event on someone's front lawn.
Well, you wouldn't believe it, but I mean, I'm on TV a lot. So,
because I think their cage is smaller.
but you mean as Simon Feck, okay? Because right now I'm Howard Tern, ladies and gentlemen. Howard Tern, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways.
It's a no-brainer as far as I can see.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. It's coming up, man. It's coming up.
No, that's a great.
I shouldn't have said anything, ladies and gentlemen.
Someone like Wing C. You wonder if who in the UFC would really.
Ken Otto says Simon needs to enter his lamp in the slap fight, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
I really don't have a good answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, right here, Howard Tern here, ladies and gentlemen. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here, the #1 contender in Power Slap, in Dana White's Power Slap, ladies and gentlemen, right here is Simon Feck's lamp, ladies and gentlemen. This lamp in a couple weeks will be 1 year old with the same light bulb. Kainato, can you believe that? It's the same light bulb. Almost a year. This thing's all dented up and everything. The light bulb has been going for 1 year, ladies and gentlemen.
There's no fat woman there. There's no fat there. All the women are real skinny. All the women look like they're all
Ladies and gentlemen, right here, the Power Slap champion, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Howard Tern. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, your Power Slap champion, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck's lamp, ladies and gentlemen. From Kainato, ladies and gentlemen. We got some good ones in here today, guys. We got shorts after shorts, ladies and gentlemen.
Missing weight in today's world when there's such easy.
Gold says, if I could guess what you do, will you say yes or no? No. Listen. Okay, so I work with a guy named, on the Simon Feck show. Well, I'm Howard Tern, but Simon Feck works with
when you go
He works with Ash, and he works with Let's Go Champ 2023, and he works with Mike, and he works with Scott. 4 guys, right? And they're always asking questions, ladies and gentlemen. Part of the fun is not knowing who Simon Feck is, but trust me, Gold. Somebody will dox Simon Feck, that's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I had people come up to me in the Apex, and they said, "Hey, do you know who Simon Feck is?" And I go, "No, I don't know who he is." "Well, he says that he works here in the Apex." And I'm like, "He did?" I mean, I don't pay attention to the guy. Yeah, there's not that many people really in there's like 100 or less people that work in the Apex, and most of the time it's even less than that. It's like around 60 people, mostly video production guys.
And it was Canelo Alvarez was potentially refusing.
Yeah, I can't go around the guessing game, you know, because I got Ash asking questions, and then he says, "Hey, I think I know who you are."
The reason why is
And I'm like, "Well, okay, well, who is Simon Feck?"
he couldn't pass a juice.
He didn't have anything to say, but he's trying. He's gathering every little bit of information he can, writing it down. I've seen somebody else writing it down too as I'm saying stuff.
And there was like a semicircle of people around him because the stall door was open, and they were like, "You've got to go in."
Gold's guessing who Simon Feck is. He says, "Is he a production cameraman?"
So they gave him a bunch of water, some laxatives. He took a dump, and then he went out and he fought. And you know, it was just, it was very close. We almost never saw the fight last night.
Well, the answer is no. And I said I wouldn't say yes or no, but the answer is no. Could Simon Feck have been one? I don't know either. I mean, that's a question. That could be the next question.
Wins $100,000, and Canelo got inspired. You know, Canelo took a little.
That's very crazy. People approach you and ask you that. What the fuck? Yeah, that's right. I've told that on here before too. Yeah.
I'll say it right.
Had what's his name? Oscar Willis, right? Oscar Willis of the Mac Life, right? He comes up to me because his buddy Jose Young's from MMA Fighting on SBN. You know, Oscar comes up to me and asks me. A couple other people have asked me too. I mean, everybody's trying to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, like, he definitely expelled a lot of cardio before the fight.
Says Gold, ladies and gentlemen.
And Terrence Crawford, that's a guy who's they call him Trumpet. They call him Terrence the Trumpet Crawford. I don't know if you know that.
I won't ask anymore. I don't want people to know. Respect the privacy, mate. Oh, it's okay. You can ask. I mean, it's fun, right? So we got I don't know. We got about 10 more minutes, and then this video's done. I don't know if I'm gonna stay around. Great show, Simon, ladies and gentlemen. Says K-Nato. Thanks a lot, K-Nato. Yeah. For you saying that, I'll be ending it here in just a little bit.
I have heard about certain people when they take.
It's going to be about 2 minutes or so, ladies and gentlemen. We got 5 strong in here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. But I do this show from a birdhouse, ladies and gentlemen.
They were the presence of greatness, all because some people have the
Do we got?
capacity to just.
There it is. Canado says, "Great show, Simon."
But some people,
Ladies and gentlemen.
But it's obviously helped. And
Hey, imagine Simon Feck walking around looking like he does, right? At a UFC card, right? And then everybody, not everybody, because I know it's a small channel. I understand that. And by the way, Gold, Simon Feck has a big channel somewhere else, okay?
This is why I couldn't fight. I guess we'll see what happens.
This isn't my first rodeo, ladies and gentlemen, but it's not like this. It's like one of those boring ones. But imagine me walking around, and as soon as one person wants their picture with me, that would say, ladies and gentlemen, imagine, other people, just imagine like 20, 30 people screaming, ladies and gentlemen. Because even if they don't know who Simon Feck is, a guy walking around in a bird costume, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, they're going to want their picture, right? I mean, everybody's got a camera, right? Not everybody, but,
Well, yeah, but he's trained. It's not just
What's your
his genes,
streaming
right? He's
schedule?
trained,
I would tune in more, says Gold.
He's trained hard.
Well, the only one that we have scheduled every week, and it just started, it's on Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? So last week we had no Chill on. That's who you're listening to right now. It's not John Morgan. And we got somebody for the week after. We don't have anybody for tomorrow morning. Well, it's morning for us. There's a gentleman by the name Champ. He's from Scotland. And then Simon Feck. And then we're looking for somebody for tomorrow, 10 a.m. The link will be up there. Don't be afraid. Come on.
That might be something that we have to get a scoop on sooner than later.
Will you ever reveal your main channel? Only after I get doxxed, right? So when I get doxxed, I'll just be making fun of whoever my real self is, right? And then I'll be able to talk about my real self, and then I'll be able to make fun of my real self. So whenever I get doxxed is when it's going to happen, but I'm also going to deny it too. Okay? Now, this is the honest truth, right? When I first started out, people thought I was Hulk Hogan. Okay? Swear to God, people thought I was Hulk Hogan. Now, I knew Hulk Hogan, and I knew Ric Flair, and I know a bunch of wrestlers. There you go, Kenato, if you're still there. Okay, Simon Feck knows a bunch of wrestlers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, a bunch. Okay, and then there's the end of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys hanging in there, ladies and gentlemen. But let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this right now. As a matter of fact, you know what, Gold? I should tell you who I am. I should tell you exactly who I am. But what we're going to do here, we're going to say this. Okay. So Simon Feck is none other. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead, because I'm Howard Tern. I could dox Simon Feck, right? So Howard Tern here, I'm going to dox Simon Feck. Simon Feck is none other than